Very good morning to all of you. Dear students, make your videos on. Make your videos on. Very good morning to everyone. Open your Flamingo textbooks. Open your Flamingo textbooks and chapter number 4, the rat trap. As I'm watching, some of the students have not still opened their videos. Open it. Your cam must be on. Otherwise, I will make you out from the class. Switch your cam on. Do it fast. Very good. Some students are obeying. As I'm watching Sagar's Jasprit's. Rest students have not switched it on still. Vivek also. All of you have to read. Prachi also has opened the Rattrap chapter from Flamingo. A very good morning. Mic should be switched off. Mic should be on only when I will ask you to. As soon as you will follow the instructions, bache, you will read. But if you will deaf to instructions, full class will be wasted only to give you the instructions that to switch on your cam. So let me start calling your name one by one to open your cam. May I call your names or may I you out? Do it fast. Cam must be on and mic must be off. Mehakpreet, Harsh, Jashan, Ashish, Jaspreet Kaur, Gurkirat. Are you deaf to instructions? Do it fast. Tarshpreet, Kashish, Rik, Sukhpreet, Khushpreet Kaur, Kanishka, Muskan, Harman, Mehakdeep, Harman. Do it fast. Be quick. Akashdeep, Navpreet, Sukhman, Ansh, Yash, Sumanpreet, Sukhveer. I'm noting down your names, bache. Otherwise, next time I'm in the class. Hurry up. I am watching. Whosoever is visible me, I'm not naming them. Students who are not visible, I'm naming them. Who are they actually? You all have to be attentive while I will start reading the chapter, and questioning can be done from anyone. So, have you opened your Flamingo textbooks, chapter number 4? Let me know. Give me the response in chats, and after that, I will ask verbally. Have you opened your textbook, Flamingo, chapter number 4, the rat trap? Yes, maximum students are responding.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then let us start. First online class, term 2. Some students have not been enrolled so far. They are standing the request to join the class. Just a minute. After that, I will take your class. Okay, dear students, let us read the chapter. The title is The Rat Trap. The title is The Rat Trap. The is here a definite article. The is a definite. Once again, a technical glitch was there. So now let us begin. Is my voice is audible? Okay, okay, that's nice. My voice is audible. Many students are responding yes, positively. Okay, students, chapter fourth, the red trap. Videos must be on. I will not speak the same things once again. Already we have lost 10 minutes. Be quick. Videos must be on. Let me see how many of you are following the instructions, or let me call one by one. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Videos must be on. Chapter number four, the red trap. Dear students, your videos must be on your cameras. Switch on your camera. I will not teach until you will follow the. Hurry up, hurry up. Some boys are following it. Girls, do it fast. Harman Singh both, Rinku, Divyanshi, Jasprit Kaur. Are you back to instructions? Shubham, Ashmin, Prabjot, Navpreet, Navjot, Vivek, Kashish. Do it fast. Sukhvi, Jaswinder. Hurry up, hurry up. Let us read about the author first. Who is the author? Selema Legaloff. Your books must be opened and your rough copies, pen, pencils. Was a Swedish writer whose stories have been into many languages. And a universal theme runs through all of them, a belief that the essential goodness is a human being can be awakened through understanding and love. It's very, very important. All of you can underline these two things. The first thing which they have mentioned is human being can be awakened by which two things? Let me know. Number one is, give me the response. Number one is,
Sir, understanding and love.
yes, very good. First is understanding, and the second one is love. So these two things are very important according to the chapter's point of view. See, no one is having a birth bad qualities. It is only we people who indulged with each and everyone and possesses different qualities, like negative or positive. So now we have to consider ourselves which qualities we must possess. Okay. So two things are very compulsory for everyone. The very first thing is understanding. When we understand each other, we can do our work very nicely. And the second thing is love. When we treat and affection or difficult work can be also done in a fraction of seconds. So these two things are very important. Next is this story is set amidst. Amidst means in the middle of. Amidst the mines of Sweden and rich in iron ore. This is the second important thing, and for general point of view is also important. Which place is very you can say considered important as in the form of iron. What will be the answer? Response me. Which place is considered important for an iron ore? Yes, Sweden. Sweden is considered the important place. Okay. Next is which figure large in history and legends of that country. The story is told somewhat in the manner of a fairy tale. So if you will go through in this chapter, it will be considered a kind of fairy tale. Fairy tale means like in your childhood, you might have listened different kind of fairy tales by your parents or grandparents, especially before going to bed at night. So in the same manner, this chapter is a kind of a fairy tale, kind of a long story which you will go through. So let us start now reading the chapter. Once upon a time, there was a man rat traps of wire. Rat traps of wire. So Chahat, just let me know what do you mean by rat trap? Rat trap means hurry up.
सर जी पिंजरा.
Yes, in Hindi we can call it pinjra, and in English we can call it cast net net. Okay, so see there are different kind of traps. If we have to trap any word or any animal, there are different kind of traps. Like you might have seen cage also. जैसे आप बोल रहे थे पिंजरा kind of device. Not only rats but also other animals. हम किसी को भी कैच कर सकते हैं, पकड़ सकते हैं, है ना? यूजुअली अगर हमने रैट को पकड़ना हो तो हम क्या करते हैं, हम छोटा सा कोई पीस ऑफ यू कैन से मीट, पीस ऑफ इवन ईटेबल चपाती हम उसमें डाल देते हैं और उसको उसमें ललचाने के लिए, उसको फंसाने के लिए हम ऐसा करते हैं और वो उसमें फंस जाता है. इन द सेम मैनर हु विल टेल मी व्हाट कैन बी द ट्रैप फॉर ह्यूमन बीइंग? ह्यूमन बीइंग्स के लिए ट्रैप क्या होता है? हाउ अ ह्यूमन
Some money.
कैच? Okay, one student is mentioning, Harsh is mentioning greed, Lavish mentioning money, money, money. Many students have. Muskan have mentioned material benefits. Money is the common response. Okay, money is the common response. Prachi, Amrinder, Yash has mentioned, Tarshpreet has mentioned, Diljit has mentioned, Akshat has mentioned, Gurjeet has mentioned. Money, money is the materialistic thing in which a human being is being caught. Now, no doubt, as Rinder has mentioned, bad company is also one of the main reason. Responsibility is not negative trait. Responsibility is positive, but we cannot consider it negative. But the negative things are like a human being always being caught in forget the relations, even forget the communication and conversations which he has to do with his family members and in the society. So now let us find out which things in the chapter they have mentioned by a human being is caught. So let us read. तो एक बार की बात है, once upon a time there was a man who went around selling small rat traps, छोटे छोटे जो traps होते हैं rat उसको बेचता था. He made them himself at the odd moments, different moments, and from the material he got by number one, bagging in the stores, number two, or at the big farms. So in 1 mark question, in reference to context, the question can be asked from where he collect all these things. Number one is bagging in the stores. Number two, in the big farms. But even so, the business was not especially profitable. So he had to resort to both. Number one is bagging, and number two is petty thievery. Petty. Petty means small thievery act. And after that, to keep body and soul together means to keep working his life. He has to resort in these two things. So now let us find out what happened in the last line. Even so, his clothes were in rags. Rags means in a poor condition, in a tear and wear condition. Rags, that is rags here. Cheeks were sunken, and sunken means here shrink, sikuk jana. Sunken, and hunger gleamed in his eyes. Gleamed means here shined. So while looking at the person, it looks as he was very hungry. And which symptoms were there? Which symptoms were there by which he looks very, very weak? Hanji, who is going to tell me? By looking at his physique. Okay, sunken cheeks. We will say sunken cheeks. Number one. Okay. One more thing is there. One more thing is there. Hunger was being visible in his eyes. Hunger was being visible. His cheeks were sunken, and eyes were gleaming. So these two things were there, which tells us that he was very weak from his physique, and he was hungry also. Now, next question. One more question. Now you have to respond me verbally, not in chat. Let me see who will respond me in verbal manner quickly. कौन बताएगा आंसर जल्दी? तो question is, who is the author of the chapter?
Selma Lagerlof.
Selma Lagerlof.
Selma
Lagerlof.
Lagerlof.
Selma Lagerlof.
I identify each and every voice. I am coming to know who is responding. Yes, yes. Dear students, try to be quick in your response will be considered late. Okay, next question is, which two things are necessary? Which two things are necessary to check or to correct a human being?
Understanding and love.
Understanding and love.
Yes. Understanding and love. And their names are also being visible on the screen, whosoever is responding. Rest students should not be like a dead body. Okay, you are also participating in the same class, and students who are not responding at all and whose video cam is still off, they will be kicked out without letting them know who they are. But वही बात है ना कि मेरे को चैप्टर छोड़ कैम ऑन करते हो, मुझे तो समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि आप अपने रूम में बैठे हो, अपने बुक के साथ बैठे हो, व्हाई यू आर हाइडिंग योरसेल्फ एंड व्हाट बैड थिंग्स यू आर डूइंग दैट यू कैन नॉट शो टू अदर्स, नथिंग एल्स. You are studying. It is an online class and you are studying and I am teaching you. Why you are hiding yourself? I can't even understand. It will be just a wastage of time that for wasted to inform you, to instruct you. Next sentence, next para. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous. Monotonous means dull and boring. You can underline also, and even you can write the word meaning given. As soon as the school will open, I will check whether you were following the instructions or not. So, no one can imagine how sad and monotonous vagabond. What do you mean by a vagabond? Homeless person. Vagabond, homeless person, or you can say wanderer, wanderer, wanderer or homeless person. After that, who plods? Plods, plods means walks. who plods along the road left to his own meditations. Means he usually being busy works. He never try to indulge with others. He always being busy in his own works. Plods means walks. After that, uh, left to his own meditations. But one day, this man had fallen into a line of thought. Which verb form it is fallen? Hurry up.
Third.
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 Okay. Third form it is. Fallen is third one. So what is the second one? Second one is
Fell.
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 fell. Yes, yes, definitely fell. You can even respond. When the question is being asked, you can even respond while making your mic on, and after that you can switch off it. Okay. Okay. Now let us continue further. Uh, But one day this man had fallen into a line of thought which really seemed to him entertaining. Let us find out what kind of thought he thought. He had naturally been thinking of his rat traps when suddenly he was struck. Who is going to tell me first form of struck?
Stuck.
Right.
Strike. Herman,
Like
his voice is
Herman, his voice is
here. Strike. Strike is the first form. Strike, struck, struck. Okay. Strike means. कौन बताएगा strike means?
Hit. बजना.
Harsh Komarsin has responded very quickly. Hit. Okay. Strike means hit. When suddenly he was struck by the idea that the whole world about him, जितना भी उसके आसपास का जो वर्ल्ड है, जो संसार है, उसके बारे में वो सोचने लगा. What? Let us find out. The whole world with its lands and seas, sorry, its seas and villages was nothing but a big rat trap. Explain through these two lines that whatsoever he found everywhere. Number one is cities, number two is villages, number three is land. Whatever is being found and visible, all these things are nothing but only one thing, and that is called a rat trap. Nothing else but a rat trap, kind of trap. It had never existed for any other purpose than to set baits, 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 चारा, हिंदी में उसे चारा भी कह सकते हैं, baits, for people. It offered riches and joys. It's very important, you can underline it. Number one is riches and joys, number two is shelter and food, third is heat and clothing, exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. अब देखिए दिस लाइन है, जैसे कि हम चूहे को पकड़ते हैं, उसमें हम चीज लगा देते हैं, या हम पॉर्क, पॉर्क क्या होता है, सूअर का मांस, चीज लगा देते हैं या पॉर्क लगा देते हैं, उसमें फंसा देते हैं ताकि वो उसमें से देख के उसको अट्रैक्ट हो और वो उसमें फंस जाए. इन द सेम मैनर अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, a human being is also being caught in these kind of traps. And traps कौन से होते हैं अभी हमने पढ़े. नंबर वन, नंबर टू, लेट मी नो नंबर टू.
Shelter.
हाँ,
Shelter and
फूड एंड शेल्टर. नंबर थ्री,
Food.
heat and clothing.
Food. Heat and
heat
clothing.
and
Heat and clothing.
heat and clothing, food and the very first one was
Riches and joys.
Riches and
Riches and joys.
And joys.
yes. Yes, the first one was riches and joys. The first one was riches and joys, no doubt. So all of you must have to learn it, because anytime the question can be asked from the same pattern, that which things might a human being is being. So आपको सभी को ये याद रखना है, क्वेश्चंस पेपर में ये आ सकता है. चलिए, one more para we will go through today. The para is the world had of course, एक इसमें पीछे दो लाइंस रह गई थी, वो दो लाइंस देख लेते हैं पहले. उसने बोला exactly the rat trap offered cheese and pork and as soon as anyone let himself be tempted. Tempted means कौन बताएगा मुझे.
Attracted.
अट्रैक्टेड.
Attracted.
अदरवाइज मैं किसी का नाम लेके भी पूछ सकता हूँ. ऑल ऑफ यू मस्ट बी रेडी टू आंसर एट एनी टाइम. अट्रैक्टेड. टेम्पटेड मीन्स हियर अट्रैक्टेड, नो डाउट. चलिए आगे चलते हैं. Tempted to touch the bait, it closed in on him and then everything. ही उसको कोई टच करने के लिए आता है, पकड़ने के लिए आता है, तो वो उसमें बंद हो जाता है, क्लोज हो जाता है. That is being said here. After that, next is the world had of course never been very kind to him, so it gave him unwanted. Unwanted means unusual, unwanted joy to think ill of it in this way. So the world was thinking different kind of things are being attracted by them, and if he is not, so definitely he will also think like that because he is not being treated in a nice manner. So the next what they want to say, it became a cherished pastime of his during many dreary means dangerous, ploddings means walkings, to think of people he knew who had let themselves be caught in the dangerous snare. Snare is also again synonym of or you can say rat trap, and of others who were still circling around the bait. See what actually they want to tell us here. If a kind of rat trap is here, means trap, okay, or you can say snare. So whosoever is going to touch that trap, for which thing? For animals, cheese, pox, and other things. For human beings, riches, joys, whosoever is going to touch that bait, touch that trap, he or she will be caught in between. So in the same manner, he is explaining here कि some of the people have been caught already and some are still circling around it. और कुछ लोग जो है वो अभी उसके आसपास सर्कल कर रहे हैं और जैसे ही वो उसको टच करेंगे they will be caught. Next, one dark first, second, third, it was an introductory message. Now the real story begins. One dark evening, as he was trudging meaning. Ashish, you just let me know. What do you mean by trudge? TRUDGE. Try to whom I am asking, he or she will respond only. Ashish responds trudge.
Walk slowly.
Walk slowly. Okay. Rinku, do you know the answer of trudge? Rinku Daman. No
Walk
other
slowly,
student.
sir.
Sorry. What you have said? Walk slowly.
Walk slowly, sir.
वॉक स्लोली. एक तो बच्चे मैं फिर लास्ट टाइम बोल रहा हूँ कि वीडियोस आपके ऑन नहीं है. मैं आपके वीडियोस देख रहा हूँ कौन कौन बच्चे कहना मानते हैं और किन किन बच्चों को मैंने नेक्स्ट टाइम किक कर देना है, तो फिर नुकसान आपको होगा. इट इज नॉट द लॉस ऑफ माइंड. ओके. चाहत, वुड यू लाइक टू टेल मी? चाहत बच्चे, यू हैव टू स्पीक. नो रिटर्न आंसर्स.
Walking tiredly.
Okay, walking tiredly. From science. From science, Anmoljeet.
Sir, walking slowly.
Mohit Goyal, commerce. Cons. Mohit, my voice is audible to you? हाँ, then you have to respond me. I'm not asking you to do the chats. Trudging means do it fast. Trudging means, what do you mean by trudge? Shall I kick? You are not responding. Okay. Then let me kick the students who are not responding at all. Raminder, would you know the answer of trudging? Raminder Bali, medical. But I am asking in verbal form. All of you are responding in chats. I'm not asking in chat, and I'm not even free to read your chats.
Sir, walking slowly with heavy steps.
So yeah, so you have to respond now in this manner. Kanishka,
Walking slowly and tiredly.
walking slowly. Okay, so definitely trudging means here walking slowly. Walking slowly, trudging. Or the second synonym of trudging is plodding. Plodding, plodding. So, during many dreary ploddings, to think of people he knew who had themselves been caught in a dangerous snare. So, what actually has happened? One dark evening, एक शाम की बात है. He was trudging along the road. He caught sight of a little grey cottage. Little grey cottage. Kind of color can be asked of the cottage. Grey it was. Little grey cottage by the roadside, and he knocked on the door to ask shelter for the night. He was asking shelter. Who is going to tell me what do you mean by shelter? Sukhpreet Kaur, you just tell me. Shelter means, do it fast,
Sir,
बच्चे. We are having. हाँ.
रहने वाली जगह.
ओके, रहने वाली जगह के लिए सुखप्रीत कौर बता रही है. एंड हर्ष, डू यू लाइक टू टेल मी? हर्ष.
A building which gives protection.
ओके, अ बिल्डिंग विच गिव्स अस प्रोटेक्शन टू लिव. ओके, अदरवाइज हम इसको वन वर्ड में बोले तो शेल्टर मींस हियर रिफ्यूज. REFUGE, रिफ्यूज भी कह सकते हैं. शेल्टर आश्रय हिंदी में एक वर्ड है. तो जल्दी से इसको फिनिश करते हैं. आफ्टर दैट योर क्लास विल बी ओवर. Shelter for the night, nor was he refused. Instead of the sore faces means unpleasant faces. तो यूजली उसको वैसे तो अनप्लेजेंट फेसेस मिलते थे, क्योंकि अनफैमिलियर पर्सन को ज्यादा कोई अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स नहीं देता. लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? Which ordinarily met him the owner, who was an old man without wife or child. He was alone, no wife, no child, and was happy to get someone to talk to in his loneliness. वो खुश हुआ कि चलो उसकी loneliness में कुछ तो मिला, कोई तो मिला उससे बात करने के लिए. And after that what happened? Someone to talk in his loneliness. Immediately he put the porridge pot on the fire. Porridge means दलिया. दलिया को इंग्लिश में बोलते हैं porridge. Porridge pot on the fire and gave him supper. Supper means here a late dinner of the day. And then he carved off such a big slice from his tobacco roll that it was enough both for the stranger's pipe and his own. उसने क्या किया? उसको शेल्टर दिया, उसको टोबैको अपने पाउच में से निकाल के उसको भी दिया, और पाउच में से उसने अपने पास भी लिया टोबैको. उसके बाद, जिसको हिंदी में तंबाकू बोलते हैं, उससे पहले उसने उसको दलिया भी शेयर किया. और लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, फाइनली ही गॉट आउट एन ओल्ड पैक ऑफ कार्ड, जिसे आप हिंदी में ताश बोलते हैं, card and played majolis. Majoli is a kind of game. Okay, majolis with his guest until bedtime. और जब तक सोने का समय नहीं हुआ तब तक उसने अपने गेस्ट के साथ जो है वो majolis जो गेम है उसको प्ले किया. So dear students, we have studied the Rattrap chapter today. Let me conclude what we have studied today. We have studied a story written by Selma Lagerlof, which is based on two themes. One is understanding, number second is love, by which essential goodness among human beings can be awakened. And in the beginning we have studied introductory things, that all the things everywhere found around us is nothing but a rat trap. This thought is thought by the person who was selling rat traps. Supper means late dinner, late meal of the day. So he think each and everything is just nothing but a trap in which a human being is being caught sooner or later. And in the last, we have studied the story which begins by when he knocked the door of the person's house, which was a kind of a grey cottage, and he was not refused at all. He stayed there at night, and not only stayed, he was being offered supper, means porridge, tobacco pouch, and last but not the least, they are also having a game of majolis altogether. So for today, it is enough. We'll meet you tomorrow once again, and verbal cautioning will be done. Trudging means walking. Trudging, I have already told you, walking. Otherwise, your doubt class will be taken. tomorrow before the chapter. Okay, whatever the problems or queries you will be having, I will answer it tomorrow again. So till then, stay safe and stay healthy. Goodbye.